Good morning, children. Children, as you can see on this slide, there is a picture of a clock. A clock tells us the time. Time is very precious. We should not waste it. Today, you will learn a poem based on time. Our poem is Time for Everything. So now I will recite the poem for you. Look at your screen carefully and attentively. There's a time to run and a time to walk. There's a time for silence, a time for talk. There's a time for work and a time for play. There's a time for sleep at the close of day. There's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown-ups too. A time to stand up and a time to sit. But see that the time and actions fit. Now children, I have finished reciting the poem. Now I will explain each line for you. Now this is the first line. There's a time to run and a time to walk. Now what is the meaning of this? Children, when you are taking part in a race and when the whistle blows, you have to run because that's the time for running and not to do anything else. Here you can see girls taking part in a race. Here, these boys are also running in a race. So children, there's a time to run. Now look at this slide. Here you can see these children going to school. Children, in the morning, when you go to school and when you enter the school building, you have to walk. And also you walk to enter into your class. You don't have to run, jump or push another child. So there's a time to run and a time to walk. Now this is your next line. There's a time for silence, a time for talk. Now what is the meaning of this? Now children, now if you look carefully, this is a picture of a library. You can see books, okay? Then you can also see children sitting and reading a book. Now, a library is a place where you have to maintain silence. Also, there are other places like a hospital where you have to maintain silence. Also, when teacher is teaching in the class, you have to maintain silence so that you will be able to hear and understand what teacher is explaining. So, there's a time for silence. Here, in this picture, you can see these children having their tiffin. In school, during recess time, you can talk, share your tiffin with your friends and have fun. Okay? So, children, there's a time for talk. Also, after school, when you meet your friends, you can talk to them. Now here you can see all friends standing and they are busy talking to each other. So there's a time for silence or time for talk. Now this is your next line. There's a time for work and a time for play. Now I will tell you the meaning of this line. Now look at this picture carefully, children. Now here you can see these children doing their school work together. Children, for you, your work means your assignments, projects, and many more other things. Children, when you do your work in an organized manner, you will be able to complete your work on time. When teacher gives you homework to write or to learn something, and if you concentrate on your work and not be distracted, then you will be able to finish it. Or else, if you delay it, then your work will increase and you will find it difficult later to complete it. And once you finish with your work, you have to relax. So that's the time for you to play. Now children, look at this slide. So there's a time for work and also a time for play. Now just like doing your work, even playing is very important for you. Every day you have to set aside some time for playing. Here you can see how these children are enjoying playing in the garden. So there's a time for work and also a time for play. Now this is your next sentence. There's a time for sleep at the close of day. This means that full day you have been doing many activities like running, talking, walking, playing, and many more. So now it's time to give rest to your body and mind. So you have to sleep and relax. Now in this image you can see it's night and this boy is fast asleep. Okay, so his body is getting relaxed and also his mind. So there's a time for sleep at the close of day. Close of day means at night. Now this is your next line. There's a time for everything you do. Now I will explain this. So children, everything that you have to do has a particular time to do it. So it's very important for us to understand the value of time because it's precious. Here, look at this slide now, children. Here, children, in this slide, on the left hand side, you can see the boy has got up in the morning. Look carefully on the left hand side below, down. You can see a bed and a boy has stretched out his hands, means he has got up in the morning. Now look at the picture above him. Now then he is having his breakfast. Now look at the above picture. Then he is going to school. Okay, he has got a school bag with him. Now look at the another picture. After school, he is practicing swimming. Now we come on the right hand side. Then he is watering the plants. Now the below picture. Then he is doing his school work. It looks like he is doing some art and craft work. Now come to the below picture. After that, he is enjoying playing games. And the last picture down, which is in the center, he is playing a game of chess. Now children, after playing games, then he will have his dinner, and then he will go to bed. So children, you can see everything has a particular time to do it. For example, watering the plants. You cannot water the plants at night. Okay, so there's a time when you have to water the plants. So in the same way, every work that we do has a particular time when we have to complete it. Your next sentence. For children and for grown-ups too. Now what is the meaning of this? Now time is precious not only for children, but time is precious also for grown-ups, because time once wasted is lost forever. Even grown-ups like your daddy, mummy and your elders, everyone has to plan their activities for the day. So the children and the grown-ups, everyone have to plan their activities for the day. So there's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown-ups too. So children, here you can see this is a man. So he is a grown-up person. Okay. So he is on his laptop and he is planning his activities for the day. Okay. Now, a time to stand up and a time to sit. Now, what is the meaning of this? I will explain it to you. Now, here children, you can see these children are standing in a straight line doing their exercises. Even you children in school on the terrace, you stand and you do your exercises. So there's a time to stand. Here you can see people and children are sitting in a theatre. In a theatre, you always have to sit and watch the movie. So you have to know when to stand and when to sit. So a time to stand up and a time to sit. Now your next line. But see that the time and actions fit. Now children, this line is a very important line. I will tell you why. So children, you have to be aware of the actions that you do at a particular time. Your actions should match with the time. Now here you can see 4 clocks. Now look at the first clock, which is on the left hand side on top. Okay, the first clock is showing you the time in the morning. Now look at the clock besides it. The second clock is showing you the time in the afternoon. Okay, so this is on the right hand side. Now look at the clock below it. Okay, which is on the right hand side at the below, at the base. Now that is the third clock. It is showing you the time in the evening. Now come to your left hand side. The fourth clock, which is down, which is below. So the fourth clock is showing you the time at night. Now children, we have breakfast in the morning. But if you get up late and have your breakfast in the afternoon, then it is not correct, because you are having your breakfast in the afternoon. So children, always try to do whatever you are doing at the correct time. You can achieve success when you manage your time in a proper and systematic way. So time is everything, and without it we are nothing. So children, today you learned the importance of time. Thank you, children.